Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. Before I begin, I want to say thank you so much to everyone who has recently subscribed to the channel. I had the modest goal of trying to reach 500 subscribers by the end of the summer and then maybe reach 1,000 by the end of the year. We have quickly blown past that and I could not be more grateful. So thank you so much to everybody who has recently subscribed, commented, liked, shared, just engaged with the content overall. It's really motivational for me to see and to keep going. YouTube is a hard platform to grow on, and so I'm just much more excited and much more thrilled and much more motivated to keep going and provide these videos for you guys with deeper analysis and more insight. So thank you guys so much. Let's reach 1,000 next together. All right, so today is June 30th, 2025, and the Supreme Court agreed to hear what could become one of the most consequential campaign finance cases in more than a decade. At the heart of it, a question that could reshape how political parties fund elections and who really holds the power in our democracy. The case is called National Republican Senatorial Committee v. Federal Election Commission, and it's about whether federal law can limit how much political parties can spend in coordination with their own candidates. So let's be clear, this isn't about donations from individuals or super PACs, it's about direct coordination between national party committees like the NRSC or DCCC and candidates running for office. Under current law, the coordination is capped. For example, in a House race, a party can spend up to $130,000 in direct coordination with their candidates. For Senate races, it ranges between $127,000 and nearly $4 million, depending on the population of the state. Those limits were designed to prevent donors from using party committees as a kind of legal workaround to contribution limits. But now some Republican groups and a few prominent lawmakers want those limits gone entirely. The plaintiffs in the case include the National Republican Senatorial Committee, the National Republican Congressional Committee, and Vice President J.D. Vance, who was part of the original lawsuit back in 2022 when he was a Senate candidate. Interestingly, the Justice Department under President Biden had chosen not to defend the law. In a brief filed this past May, the DOJ said it believes the spending caps are unconstitutional. Because of that, the Democratic Party committees, including the DNC, DSCC, and DCCC, have stepped in to defend the law themselves. The legal precedent for these limits come from a 2001 Supreme Court case known as Colorado Republican Federal Campaign Committee versus FEC, often called Colorado 2. In that ruling, the court upheld the constitutionality of coordinated spending caps, saying that they were a necessary check to prevent corruption or the appearance of it. That decision was 5-4, and the court that decided that looked very different than the one that we have today. Since then, the court has steadily moved toward deregulating campaign finance. In Citizens United v. FEC in 2010, it ruled that corporations and unions could spend unlimited amounts independently. In McCutcheon v. FEC in 2014, it eliminated aggregate limits on how much a donor could give to multiple candidates. And in Ted Cruz for Senate v. FEC in 2022, it struck down limits on post-election loan repayments to candidates. In each case, the court emphasized the principle that money spent on political speech is protected under the First Amendment, even if that creates some uncomfortable realities. If the court overturns the current limits on coordinated spending, here's what could change. Political parties could work hand in hand with candidates to spend unlimited amounts on advertising, voter outreach, and digital campaigning. That would make party committees much more powerful, but it would also give major donors another way to exert influence by donating large sums to a party knowing that the money can directly benefit their chosen candidate. Small dollar campaign and grassroots challengers who already face steep financial hurdles could be further outmatched. Now, to be fair, supporters of lifting the limits argue that the rules are outdated. They say political parties are essential to organizing voters, supporting candidates, and that limits on coordination make it harder to compete, especially against the rise of super PACs and dark money groups, which face a lot fewer restrictions. So this is where things get complicated. Some legal scholars say that removing these limits could bring more transparency because party committees are more accountable than outside super PACs. Others worry that it will further consolidate power in the hands of wealthy donors and party elites. And because both major parties have access to different donor bases, the effects might not be symmetrical. So Republicans tend to raise more money from large individual donors. Democrats often rely more on grassroots fundraising. So this shift could tilt the fields in a subtle but significant way. The court is expected to hear oral arguments in October 2025, with a decision likely before summer of 2026, just ahead of the midterm elections. And legal experts say the 6-3 conservative majority makes it likely the court will strike down at least some portion of the coordinated spending limits. And if they do, we could be looking at the biggest transformation in party campaign spending in decades. Whatever your politics are, this case deserves your attention because it touches on one of the most fundamental questions in any democracy: who gets a voice and who gets drowned out? Is campaign finance regulations protecting the public from corruption, or is it holding back legitimate political speech? I'll be following this case closely as it heads to the court and give you guys updates all along the way, but let me know what you guys think in the comments. Should the government be able to limit how parties support their candidates? Or should those decisions be left entirely to voters and donors? If you found this breakdown helpful, be sure to hit that like button and also share this video with someone who you think might appreciate this information as well. Subscribe and turn on post notifications for more content like this, breaking down the biggest stories that shape our democracy.